Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara. I hope you are well and I hope you are excited for today's video because we are talking about all of my most recent makeup empties and declutters, as well as some skincare, hair care, body care products that I have either finished or decluttered over the past 2 months. And this is a good one. I finally have a lot of products to talk about. It sort of changes every update. I do this every 2 months, and sometimes there's a ton of stuff that I get to talk about, and other times I'm like, sorry, there's not that many empties, but I think next time there's going to be a lot of empties. That's just kind of how it works. It's like in cycles. Also, I'm currently sitting on one of those like bouncy balls, you know, those yoga balls. I thought it would be a good height, but it's actually a bit too low, and so I have to like hold myself in place to be at the right height, which takes a lot of leg strength. This is what it would be like if I wasn't flexing, and this is just too low. So I'm like holding myself here. So I think I'm gonna go sit on a regular chair because this is not sustainable. I'm filming 2 videos today. I cannot do this. I'm also a little bit stuffed up. I've got a little bit of a cold. But that being said, I'm really excited about all of the empties. I've got a big bag. I'm looking at it now. Lots of stuff. So let's just get into it. All right, that's better. No leg strength required to record this video. All right, here's the bag of all of the stuff. If you watched my most recent Project Pan video from last weekend, you would have seen a few of these products already because yes, some of them are Project Pan makeup items, which I'm really excited about because that's kind of my main goal this year. Honestly, my main goal this year is to get down to 125 makeup products. And so everything I do is like in service of that goal. I am trying to finish products off. I am trying to declutter products that I no longer love or use. A few months ago, when I counted up my collection, I realized that I needed to have about 10 to 12 makeup empties by the end of the year in order to hit that 125 number goal. And so I think I've got at least 4 makeup products here today, which means we're like a third of the way there, and there's still 3 and a bit more months to go. So fingers crossed that we get there by the end of the year. And yeah, let's just go through it. So I'm going to start with this one. This is my Dior Air Flash foundation. I went on a real journey with this one. Initially, I really did not like it. And then I sort of came around and I started enjoying it. And by the time I got down to the bottom, I was like, wow, I really love this foundation. And now I already miss it. I've only had it gone for a week-ish, maybe not even a week. And I already miss this foundation. It's partially because it mixed really well with one of my other foundations. This is a little bit too light for my skin, and another foundation I have is a little bit too deep for my skin, so I mixed the 2 of those and I got a great color. So now, like today, I tried to use that foundation just by itself and I was like, wow, this is really too deep. I need something else to balance it out, but I don't have this anymore. So that's tough, but it's okay. It's okay. I have other foundations. I actually think I have like 5 foundations, which is a lot for me. So I need to start working through some of those. But yeah, I'm going to celebrate the fact that it's an empty, even if I do miss the actual product. It looks terrible. Like Dior, come on. This was such an expensive product and it looks terrible. Like, did you do no consumer testing on this one? Anyways, this is one makeup product, one Project Pan item that I'm finished. So that was a wonderful surprise because I did not know how close I was to the end of this. Let's balance it out with a hair product. So this is just a Batiste dry shampoo. This is a mini because I have very greasy hair, so I need dry shampoo. And one of my favorites is Batiste, but they're not cruelty free. So I tend to find these on like Facebook Marketplace or Buns or something just so that I can acquire them without actually adding to or increasing demand. This is just the original one. Nice scent. You probably know about Batiste. I like Batiste, but if there are other cruelty free dry shampoo hair brands that I should know about that are like drugstore price, I'm not looking to pay like $60 for a dry shampoo, please do let me know. All right, another hair care product. This is the Dove Oat Milk and Berry Brulee. This is a body wash. I got this from, I believe, also Facebook Marketplace. I think when I was getting the Batiste dry shampoos. I saw on their profile that they also had some of these, and I was like, oh, why not try some of those out? This is not the kind of thing that I would purchase in a store, because I try to purchase shampoo and soap, body wash, like non-plastic packaging, just the bars. But because the person already had this, I was like, let's try it out. And it was a nice experience. You know, in some ways I find it easier to use body wash than soap, but I still would not purchase this kind of thing. Like, it did not blow my mind. You know, like some body wash, it's such a nice experience that you're like, oh wow, like as a treat, maybe once a year I'll buy myself that or whatever, you know, like the Aesop soaps. But this was just fine. I'm just going back to my regular bar of soap. It's also pretty tiny. Like, I don't know, was this a sample? Not sure. Okay, let's do one more non-makeup product and then we will move back to the makeup product. This was my The Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors plus beta glucan. I did cut it open and get everything in there. I have purchased this so many times. It is just my #1 moisturizer. I'm using another one right now. There's also this K-Beauty moisturizer that I really enjoy, and I do plan to purchase again, but this one is just easier to acquire. I think I purchased this from Sephora. There's a Sephora that's very close by to me. I get points with it. It's very inexpensive. It's a brand that I know that I can fully support. Like, this is just always going to be a repurchase until it stops working on my skin. I didn't love the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors plus HA, but I love the one that is with beta glucan. So if you didn't love that one either, give this one a try. I would highly recommend it, and I've actually never seen anyone talk about it on the internet. But I think most of the people I follow purchase more expensive moisturizers, or they just exclusively purchase Asian beauty skincare products, which cannot blame them for. That market is doing way better than whatever North America is doing. All right, another project pan. This is the MAC lipstick in Patisserie. Also, do not mind my nails. I had press-ons that are slowly coming off. This is what we're looking like. I used it all the way down. Now, of course, there is still product left in there, so I am planning to dig that out so that I can use it as a blush, because I think that this would make a really nice blush. It does have a little bit of shimmer particles, so we'll see how that looks on my cheeks. If it's not great, then I'll use it as a lip balm. This is a very moisturizing feeling lipstick, so I did quite enjoy it. Not my favorite lipstick formula of all time, but the most moisturizing lipstick that I have probably ever owned. This was decluttered to me by Shauna. She didn't like it. I just found it very wearable because it's such a like regular pink color, you know? I think this would flatter most people. It didn't look incredible, but it was like, oh yeah, like just a nice lip color if you want something on your lips that's not going to stand out too much. And I've been painting this only the past month or two, but before then I didn't have that much left just because it was such an easy product to reach for. But I really wanted to focus on lip products this year with my project pan because I have so many lip products. And I actually have not managed to pan that many lip products this year. A lot of them I have decluttered, especially with the dark lipsticks. I'm doing a dark lipstick project pan right here. I will link my most recent update in that series. I have so many lip products, and that's definitely the biggest component of my collection, which I do regret. But we're one closer to getting that number down. Also, as I mentioned, I do these videos every 2 months, so I will also link the most recent update here. I think that was like beginning of July, maybe? End of July, sometime in the summer. And my end of August, first few weeks of September are always my most intensive in terms of using makeup, like every single day for 2.5 weeks straight. And so obviously I use up a lot of products. So I was expecting this to be a big empties video, and I did not disappoint myself. Okay, let's do some non-makeup products. This one will be exciting though, because this was in my project pan, I want to say in like 2023 and 2024. I have not had it in my project pan in 2025 just because I was like, I don't know when this is going to be done. One of those products where it's opaque, it's hard to tell, but I could tell it was getting close. This is the Macadamia Natural Oil No Tangle spray. It was not actually a spray because it had basically solidified. I've had this for so long that I think the water like evaporated, and so it was like a paste. Like it felt like a conditioner rather than something I could spray. Like I literally couldn't spray it. I had to like use the end of it to like get product out like that. What does it say? Yeah, a pre-styler spray for all hair types. Not a spray. Not a spray by the end. So the last little while when I was using it, oh, there's a tiny little bit here. I'll just put that through my hair. What do we think of this color of hair? I really like it. I don't know if I'm gonna love it long term, but for now it has been so fun to have a deeper hair shade. And it's so much easier to get away with greasy hair or slick backs when you have dark hair. Like that is something that I have always been so jealous of. So anyways, when I could no longer like press this button when nothing else was coming out, then I turned it upside down. And every time I wanted to use it, I would open it up and I would like use this to like scrape around the sides, or I would stick a finger in there and try to get some out. But now, I don't know if you're gonna see. I don't think you can see. There's nothing left in there, nothing more I can get out. And it honestly felt like a never-ending product. So I was kind of surprised when it finally was finished, but I am delighted. I don't have any other styling sprays or oils that I can use. So lately I have actually been using one of my partner's hair oils. He has literally so much more hair products than I do, and he never uses them. Like he just doesn't bother. I don't know why he's accumulated so many. So I'm like, okay, well, you're not panning those. I'm gonna start panning those. So I've been using this like almond oil for when I need to like smooth things out a little bit. I don't love it. Yeah, I don't love the scent or the feeling, but I'm like, hey, someone's got to do it. And it's not gonna be him, so it's gonna be me. So maybe one day you will see that in my empties. But for now, this was my final hair styling product that I needed to use up from my original macadamia oil set from circa like 2014 or something crazy, and it's finally done. So I am really happy about that. And it's nice to like make more space in my bathroom because there's like shelves in there. We don't have a cabinet, so everything is just like out. So when I use something up that is on one of the shelves, it means either there's like more space and it's a bit more, you know, like breathing room and it looks a bit better, or I can add something to the shelf that hasn't had a spot on the shelf. You know what I mean? Like something that's like under the sink that I don't use as often. So anyways, it's good when I finish up older products. I've got a lot of like moisturizers that are a lot older that I need to finish as well. So that will be the next step, especially as it gets colder and drier and I need to use moisturizer more. Okay, that was a whole spiel. Let's do 2 nail polishes. So, okay, funny one first. This, I don't know if you're gonna believe me, but this shade used to be blue. Does it say it at all? It just says nail lacquer. Neon blue. It was never neon, like it was just sort of a denim blue, but I wonder if it, because it was supposed to be a neon shade, there was some kind of ingredient in it that really made it change colors over time, because now this is like, it's like a very, very light taupe. You need to use like 3 layers in order for it to actually show up. But this was from American Apparel. Yes, they made nail polishes, so that tells you how old this is, because that store has not existed for a while. Here are the ingredients if you know anything about neon or like what could make nail polish color change. But I was using this for a while because I like the color. Like this is a nice neutral. I would think this is a good shade for like, you know, summer when you just want your nails to be like white or neutral or tan, something like that. But it chips so easily that the last time I used it, I think it lasted like literally 24 hours before it started chipping. And that was with having used a top coat. So I was like, you know what, I can't, like, it doesn't make sense to keep this if it's going to have such a short life on my nails and I'm going to have to keep applying over and over. I don't have time or patience for that, so let's just say goodbye to it. I have been trying to whittle down my nail polish collection over the past few years, and it is a very slow process because I don't do my nails that often, and especially these days I use a lot of like press-ons, but you know, we're slowly getting there. So maybe someone else who has more patience would appreciate this. Like, I will post it on Facebook, Buy Nothing or something. There's about half left, so I have used quite a bit of it up, but I'm not willing to use up the other half. Blue. Neon blue. I don't know, man. Should I just throw this out? Like, does that mean there's something weird in this? Let me know. And the next one is this Sally Hansen Hard As Nails Extreme Wear. This is a white shade, and I had the exact same issue where it chipped so quickly. I don't know if it's because it is similarly quite old, and so that means it like adheres less to nails or whatever, but I just decided that there are better nail polishes out there, and I do not need to put up with something that is going to chip in 24 hours, especially if it says Hard As Nails Extreme Wear. Extreme? This is extremely weak. So maybe someone else wants it, but I don't have time for that. I deserve better than a nail polish like this. Okay, let's do my final exciting makeup empty. There's a couple more small makeup empties, but this one is exciting because it was also in my project pan and it's now finished. And this was not unexpected. I did say in my last project pan update, like the one before last week's, that I thought it would be done for my September project pan update, and it was. This is my Painterly paint pot. However, I had depotted my Merit highlight into here and I completely finished it up. I think this took pretty much all year. Like, I think I depotted this in January. Is that crazy? And it took until September to actually finish it off. But I love this and I'm already missing it. Like, I want to repurchase, if not this one, a different cream highlight, because I mean, I'm wearing a powder highlight now and it looks good, but cream just looks better. It just looks more natural, more seamless, and if you want a really blingy highlight, then you can just layer this under a powder highlight, you know? Like, it is just, it was such a nice product. It's so natural looking, barely there, and I miss it. So I'm probably not going to purchase a new one in 2025. Maybe I would ask for one as a present in December, but I knew this would be bittersweet because I loved it, but I also wanted to finish it. Like, Merit is a more clean brand, and so you're supposed to use up their products within 12 to 24 months. I think September is like 3 years of owning this, and it never smelled funny. Okay, it does smell a little bit funny right now, but I never noticed anything while using it. So it obviously lasted longer than that 12 to 24 months, but I knew that I needed to use it up sooner rather than later. So I'm glad that it's out, but I am already missing this. But you know, that's four makeup products out of like the 10 that I want to pan this year. So I think that bodes really well for finishing all 4 of those within the span of 1 to 2 months. What else we got here? I finished this little sample. This was the Kylie Jenner Cosmic 2.0 Eau de Parfum. This was a sample when I purchased, I don't know, something from Sephora. I did quite like this, but it didn't stand out that much to me. Like, I don't have any particular association with this scent. Like, there's some perfumes that I own where like it just automatically makes me smile because of how strong the perfume is and how much I love it, and I just like associate it, not even with anything in particular, but it just like makes me happy because of how much I like it. And this it's not that strong or powerful a scent. And so I liked it, but I would not repurchase that. Okay, let's talk about the final two makeup empties. These are just small ones, 2 samples. So this is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This was fine, but I have never really loved anything from Milk, and I didn't particularly like this primer. I also found that it didn't go super well with my sunscreen underneath, so I will not be repurchasing this. And I knew that I didn't like it, but I needed to choose some samples when I was purchasing something at Sephora, and there wasn't that many that were cruelty-free, so I was like, sure, I'll try this again. But yeah, I don't know. This did not enjoy, would not recommend. And then the final makeup empty is this one. This is the Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. This is from Danessa Myricks, and let me show you the back. Okay, quite a mess. So as you can see, this had a lot of light shades, medium shades, deep shades, and I tried my best to use up all of the different shades, but I'm just never going to be able to make these 3 work. These 2 medium ones, it was tough because even as a bronzer, like I really had to shear them out. Tried to mix it with like a concealer or something, but even still, like making that look natural on my skin, it was tough. I had to be quite careful. And that being said, I did want to use it fully up, but it was not feasible. And then this one, I opened this deep one and I did try a bit to make it work, but yeah, it was not going to work. And that is my issue with samples like this, where they just give you, how many is this? Like 10 different shades. And then I guess you're just supposed to use the ones that work for you. But then there's so many extra shades that don't get used. Like, why can't they just do different sample packs for different skin tones? Why can't they do a light version of this with 3 or 4, a medium version of this with 3 or 4, and then a deep version with 3 or 4 shades? Like, is that so hard? I don't know. I don't know. There needs to be a better solution to samples like this, because so much of this, I used more than most, I'm sure. I feel like most people would only use like 1 or 2 and then be like, okay, the rest of them don't work for me. I really tried to use all of them and I still was not able to use them all up. So it just feels like a waste of product. And besides that, I didn't love this. It felt too thick for me on my skin. I didn't love the formula or texture of it, so I wouldn't recommend. But also, yeah, I keep saying this, I'm like, I can't try foundation or concealer samples anymore because this is what ends up happening, and yet I did it again. So I just need to stop. It's because I'm curious about it. Like, I want to find my holy grail foundation because I don't really feel like I have one, and yet then I regret it. But I did my best. I'm calling this done. One more hair care product. So I have been, as you can tell, dyeing my hair for a little bit now. I dyed it dark in mid-July, and that was like a semi-permanent temporary one. It was supposed to last for 8 weeks, and it lasted maybe 4 hair washes. Like, I don't know if you were supposed to wash your hair once every 2 weeks or something to make it last. It never said like wash your hair infrequently. It was just like lasts for 8 weeks. I wash my hair 2 or 3 times a week, which I feel like is fairly average, and it did not last. So I re-dyed it with a permanent hair dye. It also said that it lasts 8 weeks, which doesn't make sense to me because it's permanent. So we'll see. It's been about 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks. But yeah, this was the like conditioner that you were supposed to use after I dyed it the first time, and these things I always find is like way too much product. Like, you're supposed to use it right after you dye it, and it's supposed to be a one-use product, but it lasts so much longer than one use. When I dyed it the second time, I still have my remaining hair conditioner. Like, look, this was full, like completely full. This probably lasted like 6 to 8 hair washes because it's so much product. And I used a lot on that first time. Like, you're supposed to completely cover your hair. but you can only use so much conditioner on one go. But I did like it. I generally like Garnier hair products. I find that they work well. And honestly, my hair, I find, feels better in the like first wash and week or so after I dye it than it usually does, because you've got so much conditioner in there, and they put they put some ingredients in the hair dye that's supposed to like make it healthier. I know that's like counterintuitive, and probably if I bleached my hair then it would be less healthy, but it has consistently felt more healthy after I have dyed it. All right, just a few final products. This is the Scandal Absolute Jean Paul Gaultier sample. I think I got this for my partner as one of the like Sephora free samples, and he liked it at first and then he kind of stopped using it, so I ended up finishing it off. I like it. It's more of a masculine scent, and so I found that kind of fun to play with. I've never had a like cologne or masculine perfume. Like all of my perfumes are generally pretty like floral and girly, so it was nice to use this and feel like a little bit different. But I don't think that I would ever buy a full men's cologne for myself, because I would just be afraid of like getting tired of it or whatever, you know, like a sample makes sense for me, or I'll just use his, you know. And then finally we've got some toothpaste. This is the Burt's Bees. This is the one that I repurchase over and over. This is my most purchased toothpaste. And then just a little sample. This is great if you are looking for a cruelty-free toothpaste. It's got everything, it tastes great, and I always find this on sale for like $4 or $5, which is very close to the price of a non-cruelty free toothpaste, so why not? Some of these things are not very fun, but I still want to show them briefly. A deodorant. This is the one that I generally buy. I think I'm also using a Tom's one right now. This is just a like cruelty free B Corp brand. Nordic Woods. I like the smell of this. Now I will say these do not work as well as like your regular deodorant, but on a regular day-to-day basis, it's fine. Like I'm not a person that needs that like heavy duty antiperspirant type of situation, so this is fine. My husband generally wears a more intensive deodorant, so if I really need to, then sometimes I will use his, but this is just great on a day-to-day basis, and I will repurchase. And then finally I have this sunscreen. This is the Garnier Ombrelle. I don't know why it's a kid's one, but we have owned this for a long time, and it says that it expired in 2022. Now usually I take that with a grain of salt, and I would stretch that quite a bit because I do find that sunscreen tends to be effective after its best before date. But that being said, you know, 3+ years later, it's probably not that effective anymore. So it's not finished. I think it's probably still at like there, which kind of sucks, but I just accepted the fact that it was time to get rid of this. Summer is over, and so of course we're not using sunscreen quite as much, but oh my goodness, that was it. This was quite a long empties and declutter video. Actually, was anything declutter other than these two nail polishes? I don't think so. This was a big empties month, but not a big decluttering month. But, you know, that's fine, because I much prefer using up my products to passing them on to someone else. But thank you so much for watching. Let's talk about a book that I have been reading lately. This is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. He is a Nigerian writer, and I think most of the Nigerian authors that I have read have been generally more modern. Like I do feel as if Nigeria is a really big powerhouse in terms of like the books and the movies that they are pumping out. But this book, I did not realize this until after I finished it, is from 1958. So it's quite a bit older, and it's centered on a time in Nigeria that is kind of pre-colonization, or at the very beginning of colonization, and so it doesn't depict modernity at all. Like everyone lives in villages, there's no technology or anything. It was a very different time, and so it was super interesting to see the power dynamics at play and how things were changing because European missionaries started to come into these villages and things started changing. Like, it's called Things Fall Apart because it's about the way that the Christian church changes society. And so the characters were really interesting. The dynamics, as I said, the portrayal of relationships and marriage. And it was really quite unlike anything that I had read before, and a really different writing style as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, I would recommend it. It wasn't my favorite book of the year, but I just appreciated it. I probably read too much North American literature and not enough literature from other continents. So would recommend. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next week.